So it's finally here. The 2020 U.S. election is finally upon us as Americans assemble to do their patriotic duty and elect either Kang or Kodos to become leaders of the free world.
What are you going to do about it? It's a two-party system. You have to vote for one of us.
Well, I believe I'll vote for a third-party candidate.
Go ahead, throw your vote away.
I kid. The 2020 election is being touted as one of the most pivotal and important elections in American history. Ever since the upset in 2016 where Donald Trump trounced Hillary Clinton and became the unlikely 45th president of the United States, the Democrats have been rearing to take another stab and reclaim the throne. There are a lot of different things riding on the ballot this year. There's the environment, healthcare, the coronavirus, LGBTQ rights, women's reproductive rights, and so many more issues that will be determined as the two sides battle for the heart of this great nation, which serves for better or worse as the guiding light for the rest of the world. Some say that democracy itself is on the ballot, given Trump's authoritarian tendencies, but I'm not here to give you my opinion. You don't need another talking head spewing the same 4 or 5 talking points you've been hearing for the past year on this election. There have been millions of different cable channels, YouTube channels, social media personalities who've all given their hottest of hot takes. No, for today, I'm here to reach out to you, the people. More importantly, the people who just so happen to get matched up with me during my ride-sharing side gig. It is time for the common man to have a voice and a platform where their voice can be heard. So join me in this inaugural episode of Ride Along before the inevitable inauguration that will follow to hear what real people think about the 2020 presidential election. Is the common man riding with Biden, or are they taking the Trump train to victory? Stick around and let's find out.
You gotta love so you gotta back it. Love just a time you don't grab it.
What do I think of Trump? The man's not fit to be president. Period. He's not fit to be president. It's kind of unbelievable to watch this man and see him say what he says.
Trump, actually it's 50-50. I see when in United States, honestly, I am not allowed, just saying before, I'm not allowed to vote since I'm on visa and I'm international, so I'm not allowed to vote or participate in the elections. But the thing I feel is everybody says they're against Trump. Then how does he win? Like, people voted for him, come on. So, like, that was the first confusing part.
No, like, dude, like, no president talks like that. I mean, is bigly really a word? We took the word big and made it an adverb. I mean, like...
Honestly, I don't really care who sits there. I mean, in the last 20 years, none of them can be trusted anyway to actually do what we want them to do. So, why should he be any different? Because he's a, stock tycoon? Money shark? I mean... doesn't really matter.
And being an international, as you asked, I have faced immense, and still date I face immense struggles because we have so many restrictions and Trump is making it worse.
As a human being is probably one of the dumber, most horrible, shallow, just insecure people I think I've ever heard talk, and which is almost impressive because it's I don't mean of presidents or of politicians. I mean of people I've heard speak in general. And he also happens to be the president. So it's the odds that those are the same person to me are incredible.
Piece of shit. I mean, when he got elected, I saw the world ended. Real shit. But it's been a couple points where he was he made valid decisions, but at the end of the day, it's just the way he handles things and the way he just chooses to overlook everything that really matters, that gets me. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then the audacity that he got. I watched the Republican, what was that?
National Convention?
Yeah, the National Convention, and wow, the way he was coming with the white supremacy and everything like that, it was what? It was just so blatant. It was so blatant, I couldn't even.
What is wrong with this guy? And on top of that, he doesn't know anything about economics. He doesn't have a freaking clue. All he always tells you is the best, and I don't understand his followers. Because at the end of what he says nothing. He literally says nothing.
He comes on the scene and he's just such a spectacle that all the media outlets can't help but give this guy more and more press and just more and more time, and then he's just builds his base. Now he's basically a cult leader, in my opinion.
And he doesn't have any heart. He doesn't have any heart. He doesn't have no sympathy. It's common sense.
think he even cares about anybody, honestly. But he's very entertaining, though.
People are like, yeah, I can understand him. He speaks to me. Speaking what language? I've never heard of this. I've never heard of like a president with nothing but fallacy. Yeah, like just nothing but fallacy. No, just no good rhetoric whatsoever. Like, let's be real. He leaves rhetoric out of the picture.
Yeah, and I mean, pretty much everything he does politically is the opposite of what I would like him to do.
He's just always like, we have the best doctors. I know, because we have the best doctors. And some of my friends say, I am doing a good job. And I know that's why I'm doing a good job, because some of my friends are doing a good job. But look. Doctors are good, but these doctors don't know everything, you know? You're like, this is the wrong exit, but it's all good.
Oh, God damn it, I hate this stupid...
There's one hurdle what I can say I am facing. Now we see Trump has recently announced he is increasing the price, like the annual salary rate for the sponsorship. It was 65K, now he's doing it 100,000. So now people are not even more hiring because they're waiting what Trump is going to do and what is going to happen after elections, who's going to be elected.
So it's kind of like not so great.
Yeah, so it's really crazy.
But that's how he talks, and it's just like, at the end of it, I'm like, I have no statistical figures. I don't know what your plan is. You don't have a plan. Think about this. This election, right? They really don't have a plan.
No.
Their whole plan is just basically, I'm good, I'm God, I'm the best, and he does everything. Oh my God. Big Ten football came back because of you? Are you serious? Like, what country do you live in? It's like common basic sense has gone out the window. If you really believe that, then like, you obviously don't think you're living in the United States of America, because how could he get the NCAA, its own organization, a private non-profit business? Government's not supposed to put their hands in between that. So how the hell are you doing that? I mean, come on, man. That's the you know, that's the sad part, because that's the exact same thing Republicans fight against. That's what they keep talking. We want nobody in our business. Yeah. Government should not be in our business. But yeah, he is talking about, I'm the reason why Boeing's making money. What? Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Shut up.
The radical left. Would you shut up, man?
Listen, it's like, shut up.
Biden, he's old. Like, I really don't think he's a one-term president for me, but like, my faith is in Kamala Harris. Yeah, and then he's just like, the main goal with Biden is getting Trump out of the White House. And like, real shit, that's the main goal for me right now. Like, as long as he go on, I'm good. We're gonna figure it out.
Biden, because I don't actually know him. You know, like, we already have experience with Trump, so it's like, you fucked up already. Time for somebody else to get a turn. I mean, Obama came and cleaned up Bush mess. I mean, it can happen.
So now it's time for someone to clean up Trump's mess.
You know, it's time for it.
But also just like about him, I think he's a fairly nice guy. I don't, regarding the people who say he's like really old and like really stuff like that, I definitely, I think he's still like fairly with it and everything. I think he's always seemed to have like a stutter, right? And so
he's had a stutter for his whole life.
So I think that maybe gives it like a tougher look sometimes than perhaps he deserves. But that said, like, just like between like the mental wit and intellect between the two men, I'm like, okay, like whatever, like screw it.
I think he's
very humble,
sweet person. Yeah. Like, I don't know how much.
And he's really old.
He's really old, you know what I'm saying? Look at him as my own father. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't want him to have this kind of stress on him. You know?
Yeah, of just having people hounding you like 24/7.
Exactly. Because honestly, I met him 3 years ago.
Oh, Biden?
I met him in the airport. Yeah.
Oh, well, tell me.
I saw him and he said, "Hi, how are you?" And he walked past me.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I did, because I work at the airport.
That's so sweet. Oh, that's so sweet.
And if I had the chance to tell him don't run for president because it's too much stress for him, I would tell him personally, don't do it.
You's a lucky dude. You are really a lucky man. That man has been trying to run for president for eons. For eons. And honestly, he wouldn't be running right now if Hillary ran. So like he got really, really lucky. I don't really, let's just put it like this. When it comes to Joe Biden has one very important aspect about him that everybody in this country needs to understand and respect. He's very good at foreign policy. That's why he was the vice president. And he was one of the rare vice presidents that actually did work.
Are you riding with Biden or are you voting for Trump?
I'm riding with the weed. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm voting this year just because legalizing marijuana is on the ballot. You go to vote this year, make sure you check Democrat, then go to the back. It's the first thing on the ballot. How do you feel about legalizing recreational marijuana? Check yes. I'm voting Democrat regardless, but still, my ballot is with the weed.
Joe Biden, honestly, I have no knowledge about him. Like, I haven't studied that much, or I haven't known him, his description or stuff. But honestly, I might be biased over here, but only one thing that impresses me, he was into the theme of Barack Obama.
I'm the best president for black people since Abraham Lincoln.
Oh my God, really? Really?
He actually said
Really,
that.
dude? Really? It's like, yeah, I know. He said, I'm like, really? You think so? Let me explain to you about Abraham Lincoln, my friend. That was just a tactical move. Now, you forget about Lyndon B. Johnson, who actually was trying to end poverty in this country, and we could have done that, and that was his goal. But, he got caught up in the Bay of Tonkin and Vietnam and shit like that, and that's where that all fell apart. Donald Trump doing the most for the blacks. I actually saw a segment the other night with statistics and facts, like real statistics and facts from reliable sources. Black unemployment has been going down dramatically since 2011. How the fuck have you been the best thing for black people? Dude, you caught the tail end of some good shit and you're like, I did it all. My economy is the best ever. Your economy was flying high because of the president beforehand. I mean, we were like 1-2 hours away, literally, from not being a sovereign goddamn nation. You know what I'm saying? We went through problems in 2008, and everybody forgets about that. Everybody forgets that when Obama was elected, the day he was elected, the Dow Jones was at 6,700.
Yeah.
People forget that. I mean, when Obama left, the market high before it dropped was 14,000. When he left, it was at like 19,000 when he left. He went from 67 on the Dow to 19,000. And you're gonna talk about his economy was horrible? Shut the fuck up.
That's bullshit. I mean, Abraham Lincoln didn't really even do nothing for the black people. If you look back into the Civil War and everything like that, I'm not fully aware how I used to be, but my brother used to tell me about it a lot. And it was slaves he had slaves, we were the majority, even though we were considered the minority. You feel me? So at the end of the day, it had to happen, and all they did was switch it around to the jail system and everything. So it's it's a covered up slavery system. You feel me? We still slaves.
He hasn't done anything that Abraham Lincoln has done for black people. So I mean, you can't really say that either.
Well, would you say
at least he, freed us, signed the Constitution. Little things like that go a long way. He did absolutely nothing except said, oh yeah, I did this, but you didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I get where a lot of people come from when they go to Trump. I really do. I think that's the difference between perhaps me and some people on the left is I don't want to necessarily call it all sympathy, but I recognize how in certain places, you could have been in a kind of more compromised state, and someone like Trump could come in and promise really changing of the system and just kind of ripping everything down, and I could see how that would appeal to a lot of people, but at the end, after 4 years, I'm kind of okay, well, that was fun and all, but you do have to kind of wake up and smell the roses here. I'm sorry, dude, you got conned, and you kind of got to get it together, and and I understand you've had beef with Biden in the past and maybe Democrats and stuff like that, and a lot of those criticisms are super valid, but that's where I'm gonna have to vote. Yeah. It's hard for me to really weigh in on this because I'm 25. I was in college throughout the Obama years and whatever. So
you weren't really in the.
So I wasn't really fighting for my life. But that said, I was doing side jobs and internships and whatever. I don't like, there's a general trend of my life improving because I'm in tech. I'm one of the people fucking knocking out of the park in this society.
Oh, what company you work for?
I work for Facebook.
Look at you!
Yeah, man.
There you go. You are the technocracy.
I am part of the freaking problem. like as someone would say. It's not something I like to tell to everyone for valid reasons though. I really I also just didn't feel. I felt very apathetic about most things until around I joined I joined in 2019 or 18. Yeah, I think it was end of 2018. And that was when I started to kind of feel much more passionately about oh shit, these problems are much more real and they're serious and things are not there's not adults at the wheel who are gonna fix it right now, and there may never have been, and unless people like me who are basically just meandering through life on easy mode, maybe take the time to give away some power and some of the thrills that we've just literally been handed from the universe for no reason.
That is interesting because what's the baseline for tech culture? Oh, we have an entire snack cupboard filled with free goddamn food.
Yes, we do. No, it's really there are some amazing things to come out of the tech industry. I feel in terms of both the products and the work, the work culture. And so I like that has come out of it. But the problem is that there's all this baggage that has come with the tech industry, and social media and Facebook is probably the worst. Or I don't know about that. No exception at the minimum.
Yeah.
So to weigh in on has my life gotten better? Dear God, yes. Yeah, I had no money in college at all, and now I've got money.
You've got $100K plus.
Yeah, probably.
Plus
yeah, exactly.
Stock options.
Yeah, exactly.
And free healthcare.
And I don't even I'm not even good with my money. It's really just absurd and unfair. And I do feel I work hard and stuff, but the fact that I am worth as much as I am in comparison to all these people who do really crucial
work that
backbreaking work, shitty work,
Well, that's the interesting question. Are the Facebooks and the Googles should they just make up menial bullshit that they could probably solve with a computer just to give these people the dignity of a $50K job with some benefits?
That would be lit. I would really get behind that. Actually, just Google coming up with really simplistic work that lesser trained or very recently trained people could transfer into because they could afford to pay them. No, yeah, well, and it's just look Facebook. I'm pretty sure. If we stopped having any revenue, I'm pretty sure Facebook has profit reserves to last them for another 5 years, maybe more. It's just it's insane the amount of profit that this company has and that all of these companies have. And so I feel that it is more than just our responsibility to make sure that our individual technology is not just fucking up elections and stuff like that. We have to do that too. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I could definitely vouch for the employees within Facebook. They take this shit really freaking seriously. It is real to them. I don't know. I can't tell you what's going on in Mark's head or the investors and if they actually give a fuck at all. They might not. But I can tell you that the employees who work on those kind of initiatives to fix fake news and democracy meddling, I know that they care.
It's all about us as a people. We just gotta start taking this shit serious. It is a real pandemic, and just really start taking better care of ourselves. Get tested regularly, and just follow the guidelines. Cause you feel me? Eventually, everything, just like everything else, it will pass. They're going to find a cure. You feel me? But the rush and everything like that, it's the whole thing is that people is really dying out here. Hey yo, I don't have to go all the way to the trip. You can let me out, right here.
I find the fault. I'm definitely voting for Biden because this is not a vote to be it's time to protest. It's actually we're actually voting for our country, the characteristics of our country, and we're heading literally. Do we want to have a dictator or do we still want to try this democracy thing? And that's it. That's it. Donald Trump came up in an era where New York is glorified by the mob. And he grew up in an era where New York is glorified by the mob in a business where the mob holds a lot of hands into it. You know, you can't build a building around here in Jersey and New York and Philly without having a mob involved. That's not that. Come on.
But I guess that's not exactly the best practice to run a country or a stable business.
No, and that's why he hides his taxes. But people don't realize his taxes, like, he don't care. Because he's not breaking the law unless they find something. They're just releasing information. Yeah, he pays $750 in taxes. You wanna know how he's able to do all this thing? It's called a blind trust. And it's also called having a prenuptial agreement where you tell your wife, you're gonna have to stay with me for at least a certain amount of time because every year I'm gonna gift you a part of my business.
Americans are really lazy. If you ask them don't work, they won't work. If you give them money, $2,000, okay, we don't want to work. They're super lazy. So they just refuse to use their brains. Like, that's why even I have cousins here and stuff, and I see my niece and nephews and I just tell them, oh, I can see American citizen over here. Because they just refuse to use their brains at points. So.
Because this shit is really true. The Shawshank Redemption thing, it's really true. If you're married, you can gift your spouse as much as you want within a year and not have to pay taxes on it.
Oh, you think that's what he does? He's like gifting it to Melania, and this is like...
Yeah, because his wives, man, they're not stupid. Like Ivanka, Ivana, his original wife, she still works for him. She still works for him. She's still running, like, she's like VP or some shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh my God, she was the one that kept the company pretty much together. Like, she's the smart one. On some shit, she was the smart one out there too. Right here, right up here, right across the street. Yeah, right this spot right here.
Hat City?
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Like I told my uncle the other day, I was like, look, man, this is the time to just put out a vote, know who you're gonna pick, get it going, hope he wins, and then we can start our arguments from there and go back to normal. Then we can talk about the Green Party and all that.
And all the ultra-liberal stuff, all the 20-year-old kids.
But we need to talk, you know? We need to work on that. This two-party system is going to fail us eventually. Look what's happening now. If this guy doesn't get voted out, we're on our way to our first dictatorship.
Yeah.
And with that, peace.
Hope you enjoyed that look into the hearts and minds of a few people from this great nation as they reflect upon the upcoming election. While this is by no means a definitive poll of every viewpoint from all walks of life, I hope this small sampling provides you some insight into what many varied people think about the upcoming election and who they'll be voting to make their president. This episode should be posted before November 3rd, so it'll be very interesting to see how well these thoughts and opinions age once we see the results. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, give it a comment, a like, a share, all that good social media stuff. Thank you to all my patrons: Erica Duhane, Shonen Ronan, Bari, Walking the Steps, Carla Hoffman, Aaron Toney, and Joseph Malty. Look forward to seeing you next time when we do another Ride Along.